Hi, I'm Hazel Tate, and today I'm going to be giving a talk on my experience interviewing for Dropbox last month. I was interviewing for their Ignite apprenticeship program, and I just want to go over the process and what I did to prepare for that. So starting off, the entire process was there was an online assessment, which was just some standard coding problems. They used Code Signal for their platform on that. Then after that, if you pass the first round, they sent you a second online assessment on Code Signal again. And this time, instead of just being like LeetCode style coding problems, it was a design problem. Mine specifically was basically to design a database and things. That took about an hour. After that, I had a short non-technical call with a recruiter just to discuss like my goals, my experience, and things like that, and what I was looking to get out of my time, out of working at Dropbox if I was promoted. Then after that, there was a 3-hour technical interview that was divided into a one algorithm and data structure problem, 2 a code review, and 3 a technical just like behavioral interview. So those were all the steps that I had to go through, and now I'm going to start going through all the stuff I went to prepare for it. All right, to start off with, my first preparation was making sure I got through Code Signal, and I just got used to the platform and like knew how their IDE would work and everything on that. They have practice tests that you can take once a day and a whole bunch of problems there. They're actually a really good platform for just getting in programs. So here's just a brief layout. There's like coding challenges, and then if we go here, we can go to the test center, and this will be where you can sign up for a practice test or look at your past results and stuff like that. Their scores are out of 1,200. They're based on both time, performance, and like code quality. I got by with a 712 on my general coding assessment. And then once I had done that, I had been used to the platform. Second one, I moved into the design challenge about a week after, which was another hour thing. And I got through almost all of it and scored an 810 on that one. So now we went into the real meat of my preparations. For the technical interview, I wanted to be really heavily on LeetCode, which a lot of you know, but probably some people aren't, is a platform that just has tons of coding challenges and questions. So you can just do problems on all sorts of things. The problem with just LeetCode is that there are more than a couple, excuse me, over 2,000 problems on there. So no one can do all of those. So you really have to focus and get things solved. Because here you can just see there are 49 pages of 50 problems, so over 2,000 problems on there. So instead of just blindly stabbing around, I found out the Grind 75. A few years ago, there was a gentleman who on Blind, which is a site where you can leave anonymous feedback about tech companies and stuff like that, had put together a list of 75 questions of the most common data structure and algorithms problems that were asked by big tech. He then further refined them into a more structured program where you can set it by how many weeks you have to perform, how many hours you can perform, and then it'll just go through all the problems that you think you might need to pass these technical challenges. But just knowing what problems to solve won't really help you with solving those problems. So I use 2 other resources to help me prepare with that. I use a Udemy course by Colt Steele, which is just went over the basics and fundamentals of data structures and algorithms. So it goes through arrays, objects, recursion, then going to singly linked list, doubly linked list, and all sorts of things like that, trees, dynamic programming, and it just teaches you how to solve the problems. Then, and after I had gone through that course, I went to a site called neatcode.io. And neatcode.io is based off the Blind 75, and it has video solutions of all the problems. He is also now selling a course that he just implemented afterwards, but his lectures are very in-depth and lets you know how to solve the problems and the intuition and steps you'll need to get through them. Another resource I was able to find, I was working with several friends to prepare for this, and we found that there was a GitHub of all of the questions that Dropbox asked on their on-site problems. So we could just go through those and collaborate to get to a solution. And that was all what I did to prepare. Then in my technical interview, just things to remember, your interviewer is there to help you. They want you to succeed. So feel free to ask them what you're doing and things like that, and make sure you're interacting with them instead of just sitting down and coding. After that, I went through the other 2 interviews, and it's the waiting game. Make sure you follow up with your recruiter and let them know how you're going and what's happening on the inside. And unfortunately, I did not get the job, but that's the thing, you just have to realize all these interviews are just a numbers game, and one doesn't necessarily mean anything. I actually know that Dropbox dropped out a whole bunch of teams that they were planning to put in the program. So it was more corporate than anything that happened with me. And that's pretty much my entire experience. And